Like entrepreneurship was not popular, not common, and especially like my parents come from government background, they've been in job throughout, and for them, that US job was the best thing to happen, and probably this is a worst decision to make. Hi, this is Pradeep Chopra, and I'm one of the co-founders and CEO at Digital Vidya. Welcome to Backstage with Millionaires. Today I'm going to talk about our journey of building India's largest digital marketing training company. So I graduated from IIT Delhi in '99, and then I worked in TCS in Mumbai for a year. While I was in TCS, I got a job in a startup by Ernst & Young in US, and I had come to Delhi and I was waiting for my visa for that US job. And I met two of my batchmates from IIT Delhi in Delhi, and they were working in a startup. I went there and I got interested in that kind of environment. And suddenly one fine day they called me that they are leaving that startup and starting something of their own. And they asked me, would you like to join? So almost it was an instantaneous decision, and I said, yeah, let's do that. So then I dropped the idea of going to US, not knowing what I'm entering into, but definitely that looked interesting and exciting. Later I realized, how interesting, important, at the same time very, very risky decision I made, because at one end there was a job, almost $75,000 way back in 2000. And on the other end, unknown world of entrepreneurship. Like entrepreneurship was not popular, not common, and especially like my parents come from government background, they've been in job throughout, and for them, that US job was the best thing to happen, and probably this is a worst decision to make. So they were completely against that decision, and but still I had already made that decision. And then to convince them throughout this journey, including until few years back, is an interesting bit of conversations I need to have with them to understand family, that why it is relevant, why it made sense. And there were a lot of very, very interesting things which used to happen while I'm working on computers. And that point in time we didn't have laptop, so my, for example, parents would come close to the computer, I would open a game to tell them that no, I'm not working, I'm playing, which as a student used to be the other way around. You're playing and then you pretend to be studying. Now it was the reverse. I pretend to be playing while I was working hard. So those were, looking back, that appears so much fun, but yeah, it was that crazy. I was not alone, so there were three of us. So that commitment to do something big, commitment to create something new was our main motive to start and sustain. But there were multiple times, and especially one moment when we were almost ready to give up, but something happened and then it changed. So what had happened was, since things were not working out and there was so much external pressure and there was financial pressure as well, we thought probably this is a wrong decision we have made. So should we reconsider? Because we knew that going to job would always be available. We thought, let's take a break for a few days. So we went to Shimla to reset ourselves, but we were more or less sure that that would be a break. We'll come back and then we will start applying more seriously and get back to job. When we came back, we saw situation at office was better than what we had left with. And that gave us an idea that probably while we were there, we were not letting our smaller team unleash their talent. And probably that break gave us a direction to try something new. So we reset the responsibilities. The team which was with us started taking up bigger roles, and we saw things started moving differently. And it was the unknown world of digital marketing at that point in time for us, which gave us the first break and altered our journey in this world at Whizlabs. one fine day when we came to office in the morning, we saw someone bought our product from US at almost 5 times the price we were trying so hard to sell in India. And later, a few days later, we discovered that that first sale had happened through search engine optimization, or SEO, which is now quite popular. But for us, that discovery of SEO happened accidentally. So we were among the probably first few players in India who adopted digital marketing to begin with SEO, and that altered our direction in terms of customer acquisition growth. So within 3 years, like every year we were doubling our revenues. Within 3 years, we could reach to almost $500,000 revenue, almost all international, everything online, all product, extremely profitable. So that's how, digital marketing happened to us accidentally, and we adopted that. And that's how our journey into the world of digital marketing also began. So that was a turning point for us in terms of learning marketing, because coming from technology background, we were good at maybe product, we were good at content, but had no clue about marketing. And this accident of SEO happening to us was a great boon for us. NASSCOM awarded us India's most innovative IT company in their first Innovation in India initiative, because of our ability to use digital marketing sitting here in India, building a global brand. Now, until 2007, it was doing good, but we got kind of bored of this and it became stagnated. So we we contacted someone for some marketing support, and that person was doing a job. So we reached out to him for some support for Whizlabs for marketing, and then he shared he was thinking of starting something similar. And then we said that it would be probably great if he can work on taking on Whizlabs' future direction. But we didn't have enough funds to have him full time, so we created a pilot with him that let's take next 6 months to reach to a position where we could afford him, and then he takes it over. And interestingly, he did that much earlier than that. So within 3 months, he did what we were not even expecting in 6 months. And we got him on board in the 4th month, and he became the CEO. And since then, it is again on the growth path, and we've seen significant growth happening in last 2 years for Whizlabs because of his passion, his energy, his vision. And it's a great thing for us also. Like, we still have a lot of ownership in Whizlabs, and yet not operationally into it. You want to control what you have created, and it's natural, and it appears that something which you have created, you know about that better than anyone else, so you should not leave that, and you are the best one to turn it around or continue growing it. But looking into our experiences in the past, like when it happened when we went out to Shimla, and while we were running Whizlabs, we have observed multiple times that for almost every accountability, there is a better person based on various factors, including experience, but far more, based on the passion the person drives. And to turn around something or to take it to the next level, your past, your beliefs becomes baggage, or what got you here won't get you in future is very true. And we have seen it happening for us, we believe in it, and we embrace it. So we are very clear, while it was very tough initially to let go of control, and it looks very natural that if someone will come, he or she won't know what you've created and is likely to get into even bad shape, will see more mistakes happening. But we have seen that giving away the control, giving accountability to someone who you can trust, believe, and bet on, in significant scenarios turn out to be far better than what you naturally expect. In 2009 end, we decided that let's do a social media marketing workshops, because social media was a buzzword. People were confused what it is not. So we launched almost probably the first formal series of social media marketing workshops in India. And January 2010 was our first workshop in Noida we did. Once we started doing that, we saw there was so much need for it. People were very interested, and so that demand from the market drove us to go more serious in that path. And so we started doing more. We started doing workshops other parts in India. 2 years later, we did a workshop in Singapore. We did a workshop in Malaysia. We were speaking at conferences across multiple geographies. So we realized that this knowledge of digital marketing is needed by almost everyone. A student looking at building a career in digital marketing, a professional looking at growing in his or her job, an entrepreneur looking at growing his or her business, a large organization looking at taking them to the next level. It's needed everywhere. So that's how Digital Vidya began. While we had great respect for us, Digital Vidya as a brand was doing well, we were not moving forward as a business, because we saw that this model of doing workshops every month in different cities is not a scalable model. And that's where we had almost reached to a situation that it's a good thing to do, people get value, but if we want to make it something, as an organization, we will need to turn it around. So we completely remodeled us from doing a 2-day social media marketing workshop in a city in India to a long-term digital marketing course delivered completely online. That was a shift which happened. And so we launched our first instructor-led online digital marketing certification course in November 2013, and that altered the direction for our growth, because we were doing a long-term program. That means our customers were getting far more value and thus paying us far more. We were not limited by the geographies. We had just one workshop or one program going on, and anyone across the India and actually outside India could be part of it. So now in the last 9 years, we just completed 9 years last month, and in this journey more than 30,000 people have been trained in digital marketing. More than 300 corporate training programs we have done trainings with Facebook and Google as their digital marketing training partners. We have partnered with the Government of India initiative. We have contributed to careers for thousands of people, and now I have got into other domains other than digital marketing as well, like data science. So that's a great shift which happened for us, and we look forward to expanding this, being online to many more countries than where we are, and hopefully many more domains than where we are today. I think number of users on this medium is only going to grow. Whether we look at India or anywhere in the world, still over 55-60% of population is not on this medium. So there is a huge gap which still exists in terms of that population coming online. People who are already on this medium, thanks to internet penetration, thanks to cheap smartphones, the amount of time being spent on this medium is only growing by existing users of internet. What that means is, for any organization, they would have more customers on this medium, and their existing customers are going to spend more time on this medium. That means organizations across all domains, maybe very few who may have their customers in areas where internet is not possible, which is almost very niche. For majority of the organizations, their target audience, including their employees, partners, are on this medium, and that will grow, and the amount of time is only going to grow. That means they are going to spend more and more budget for digital marketing. So it's very, very important for those organizations to upskill their existing marketing teams. Even their CEOs, the top leadership themselves need to understand. In this journey, we have done a lot of one-to-one CXO level trainings as well, because they themselves needed to understand what this animal is. Their own profile becomes important, so that learning also happened. But for their workforce who is connected with marketing, or their employees can become their brand ambassador. So it's not just people who are in marketing, even others can play a role for organization to grow. So organizations are going to spend more and more budget on this. They would need more talent. That means there is going to be huge demand for career opportunities. Fortunately, digital marketing does not require any specific education background. As long as you are interested, passionate, have good communication skills, it can be a great career opportunity for someone who is a graduate, or maybe not even a graduate. So that gave us, or gave this whole industry, a shift in terms of the growth because of this demand. And that got us into creating various kinds of programs, working with a lot of partners, working with a lot of corporates for their training programs. And I think that's one thing which shifted the entire ecosystem for benefit of everyone. We have seen various constraints as well. For example, way back in 2013-14, we launched a job guaranteed social media marketing course, where we were saying that if someone does this program, we guarantee a job. For us, it was like very natural that we will have enough takers of it. But that program flopped. And the reason for that was it was meant for students and freshers. And for students and freshers, they could see an opportunity in it. But when it comes to they making the decision making of joining the course, paying the fee, they needed that alignment from their parents. And when they go to their parents, say that, I'm going to learn Facebook marketing over next 3 months to get into a career where I'll spend my entire day on mediums like social media, their parents could not understand. So every time there was a student or a fresher who was interested in joining, was stopped by their parents. Now, over last few years, that perception, which was not true, has become, much more different than what it was earlier. Parents, when they see that mediums like this have become so big, when they hear so much about government using this medium, when they see themselves spending time on this medium, and the kind of careers being created out of people who work on these platforms, now they realize that there is an opportunity. So that's one good thing, a shift which happened much late in developing countries like India, but that has happened. And I think that's one aspect which takes away that constraint of freshers and students building a career in this industry. Like if I look at the first journey of our venture at Whizlabs, we wouldn't have existed if it didn't happen to us. Today it's a norm, and I think we will see many more Whizlabs getting born and grow because of this medium, and we want to play a role in forwarding that vision, that objective of entrepreneurs, corporations, and professionals and students who want to build their career in this industry. I hope you enjoyed learning from our journey at Digital Vidya in building India's largest digital marketing training company. If you have any comment or a question about, what we could do, what you could learn from us, please feel free to ask me in the comment section of this video. I'll be more than happy to personally reply to your query. And if you believe that the learning from our journey could inspire many more entrepreneurs, please do share with other people in your network. And thank you to this channel for giving me opportunity to share our journey with all of you. Bye-bye.